Thanks for joining us. Wow, a Wednesday morning here, and we're taking a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the dailies. Today is Wednesday, May 29th, 2024. We're starting with the Punch newspaper this morning, and it says here, Tinubu's first anniversary gift. Federal government plans fresh cash transfer scheme for 75 million Nigerians. Now, the whole cover there talks about the 1 year of the Tinubu administration building a safer, stronger and prosperous Nigeria. And there is an infographic there of the renewed hope agenda. Beside the masthead there, we have Emirate tussle. Bayero stays as courts give conflicting orders on Sanusi. Minimum wage talks collapse as Labour rejects 60,000 naira. Now, Winfrey is here with me on the couch for this particular session. Yes. And so once I called out the date, it did just occur to me to mention that it is May 29th. Yeah. Now, it's a very significant date for Nigeria. Yeah. And the fact that most of the papers have similar covers here is interesting. 1 year of the Tinubu administration building a safer, stronger and prosperous Nigeria. So my only question now is, when it comes to expectations, first of all, 1 year seems like it's flown by so fast. Am I right?
Of course, yes, of course. And that's, yeah, of course, it seems like it's flown by so fast. But then again, for considerable reason, right? We all know that this in particular administration hit the ground running. So from the get-go, there was a lot happens. I know what happens or what they say about how time flies when you're actually doing a lot. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot has gone on. There's been a lot of ups and downs and all of that. But then again, at the end of the day, I think the beautiful thing to see is that we're powering through it regardless. Yeah. And so far, I'll say, I mean, there's been a lot of changes. That's why the fact that, yeah, a lot of people may say the changes don't seem so positive, I mean, for the people. But then again, with my mindset is that before day breaks, literally, you actually get through the darkest point of night. So, I mean, yeah. So it's amazing to literally see, the infographics here. Yeah. We have, we literally have it on all. Yeah, it shows everything. We have it on all the covers of the papers. Renewed hope, priority areas, which are economic reforms for sustainable growth. We've definitely seen a lot of changes in that regard as well. Strengthening national security.
National, on the fringes.
On the fringes.
But the truth is, we, the people, especially here in Lagos, there might be some things we might not be so aware of, so in contact with, unless you pay attention.
But then again,
the news.
The truth is, even in Lagos, I will say there's been a whole lot more checkpoints now, to be very honest. Despite the fact that what their agenda on the road
is different
from what they think. Do you understand? Because, I mean, recently I was actually going through some papers, and I was actually reading an incident that someone literally had with some people on the road. How it showed how clearly the guys that literally are on the road as the security people on the road have a totally different agenda from the office. Do you understand? So they're telling you one thing on the road. I've also had experiences like that before, where they're telling you one thing on the road and it's a totally different thing at the offices. So
obviously, national security goes way beyond just the police now.
Of course,
the border controls, you know, imports, exports, things going through the borders, and so on and so forth. But there's still a few other papers to touch on as well. We have here the New Telegraph newspaper as well. Same major headline: 1 year of the Tinubu administration building a safer, stronger and prosperous Nigeria. But at the top here, it says, as a caveat, mixed feelings as Tinubu governors mark 1 year in office. Pages 3, 4, 26, 28 and 30. You can imagine how much information they've packed into this paper on this particular matter. It says here, Buhari, Abbas, Kalu drum support for President. Atiku, CUPP score government low. Discordant tunes as in presidency over Tinubu's plan to address the National Assembly today. Now, the minimum wage matter comes up again. Minimum wage, it says Labour rejects government's 60,000 naira offer, cuts demand to 494,000 naira and walks out of negotiations. Now, the issue of the minimum wage has been ongoing for the past month or so, and they've been going back and forth to negotiate, and they've got to 60,000 naira, which is, I think that's double what the past minimum wage was, which was 30,000 naira before. So I think it's on an upward incline, but 494,000 naira. Wow, as a minimum wage. Imagine if that was your minimum wage. Just imagine that. What we could do with such a minimum wage.
Yeah.
Now, it also talks here about the Kano Emirate tussle, confusion over conflicting court orders. We talked a bit about that in our news bulletin earlier on. Lack of funds stalling ambassadors' appointments, says minister, and that's what we have on the cover of the New Telegraph.
Yes, of course. Now, moving quickly on to Daily Trust, we have conflicting court orders as Sanusi Bayero cling to Kano Emirate. That has been one conversation that has been ongoing for a while now. And of course, we have the same infographics. Yeah, 1 year of Tinubu's administration, building a safer, stronger, and prosperous Nigeria. And we definitely have the key points areas, priority areas highlighted there as well.
So now on the Emirate issue, now there's so many little intricate details that are still not so clear to the public on why it's such a big deal. But the issue is now, the fact that there has been a court order saying that, it's no longer 5 emirs, that is now just one. And obviously, it wasn't just going to be a snap of your fingers, everybody leave. There's now, it was always going to take time.
Yeah, of course.
There's a lot to rearrange in that area. And there's so many other questions to be answered there, especially regarding if the government should have been so involved in the issue of the emirate in the first place. And whether our traditions and cultures are being sort of, undermined by the issue of governors or government taking control of that.
So I think the major reason why it's so much of a controversy now is because of the way it happened when Sanusi literally was kicked out and then the others installed, right? So now going back to that, so I think it's a constant clash of tradition, government, and all of that back and forth.
Yeah.
But I believe that eventually, also considering the area it affects,
of course,
we all know those are areas that are really strong when it comes to traditions and customs and things like that. So I think eventually it will be sorted out. It will be.
It should be. It should be. But we are, of course, watching those stories and we'll be giving you updates in subsequent bulletins. The same major headline on the cover of The Nation as well. 1 year of the Tinubu administration and a few other headlines there as well. Make sure you pick up a paper or two if you are heading out today. Now, thank you so much, Winfrey, for joining me on this. And at this point, we have to hand it over to Mary. She's in the kitchen.